Okay, so here's the basic situation. At age 51, I'm having to basically restart my life in so many ways. And apparently, I've picked a mighty fine time and place to do it. Washington, D.C. in the year 2024. Now, unfortunately, in my life, I've been surrounded by people who've lied to me constantly. Unfortunately, also now, I live in a place that has a chirping alarm that goes off every minute or two. And I've gotten sick of turning it off every few hours. So I'm just going to let it annoy me. They've obviously put me in this apartment because that does that to annoy me. And so obviously what I'm going to do is see if it annoys you also. And then I'm going to let it annoy staff. And staff will know that they put me in the annoying room and I decided to not let it annoy me. Now, as I restart my life, I have to start things again. I keep looking back and trying to connect with things that I used to do or used to be. So apparently no one embraces me for the things that I do. I thought hardcore music would embrace me back, but hardcore music doesn't want me. Punk rock doesn't want me. Skateboarding doesn't want me. No one really wants me. I thought some woman cared for me. I've tried to reach out to them since I've been indoors. They don't care about me. One of them told me to get on her schedule. The other one, I don't even have her phone number, but she talked to me right after I was almost murdered. I guess she just wanted to confirm if I was alive or dead. I don't know. I have her daughter's phone number, so I called her daughter to ask her to call me. I said, "Hey, what's up? Can you ask your mom to call me?" We talked for a minute. And then she's like, "Okay, bye." And I was like, "Bye." Her mom didn't call me, so she doesn't love me. And that woman actually told me she's evil. I should probably listen. When a woman tells me she's evil, I should probably say, okay, and get away. This woman up here told me I was her job and that she's paid to be around me. So why would I want her to come visit me? And she used to stay with me at the tent camp sometimes where I lived at. And she watched me get beat almost to death. And those other people at that camp are either her friends or her captors or something. I don't even know. The ones that beat me and the other ones there at Triangle Park who buy and sell drugs there and human beings. Of course, then I have another woman who I thought cared for me too. So I reached out to her and she said she'd been having a very tough time. And I called her a couple times. And then I didn't call her for 2 days. And I called her back. Then I called her again, and she doesn't call back. So I guess these ladies who I thought might care for me, or I thought I care for, again in my life, misdirected everything. Misdirected anger, misdirected friendship, and misdirected love, apparently. So now I have to learn what the world is and what it's about. And try not to get beat down anymore, or I guess offend people who like to murder people or rape them or own them or put them in prison. Because it seems like that's what I get when I reach backwards or I reach out around me. What I have to do is like reach up and outwards, like I'm in like some kind of a evil place. Like I'm under a manhole cover. I'm not under a sewer cap. It's a manhole cover. I thought it was just feces and piss and urine, like all that stuff that goes to the sewers and the trash and the garbage. But I'm not. I'm a man stuck in the feces and the sewer and the trash. So I can't reach around me to get out because there's nothing to reach onto. It's all piss and feces and urine and crap and the waste of humans and running through the city gutter streets. So I have to get up and out of this. So if I reach around, it's reaching to my old family, literally the people I grew up around and who said they loved me and who I spent holidays with who actually don't care. I can't reach out to any old friends because they're the ones who try to put me in prison and lied to me for decades, just like my family tried to lie. And actually an extended family tried to put me in, help me put me in prison. And no family actually stood up for me to tell the courts or the law people that I'm a good person. That I know of. No one stood up for me as a person. Even though many people know I served people with disabilities for many years, helping them get jobs and helping returning citizens get jobs. And many people know that I taught adult ESL, teaching immigrants how to speak English for over a decade in Spotsylvania County schools, but nobody's standing up for me. People know I served on councils. They know I served on councils for years to serve the public good in Fredericksburg, which some people claim is Northern Virginia, some people claim is Central Virginia. People know I've struggled in a lot of ways in my life, and they all keep saying they care for me and they love me, while they seem to be putting me down and stepping on me and trying to hurt me. Many times the only thing I have for me is music. But Washington, D.C. is a messed up place. Hardcore music this is one of the homes of hardcore music, and Bad Brains is one of our prized possessions or our prized histories or our prized revelations of the greatness that could be coming to this planet. Yet Bad Brains were banned here in Washington, D.C. They started in the end of the 1970s, and they weren't allowed to even play concerts in the United States. They could not play here in Washington, D.C. They had to go to New York and start from there. So Washington, D.C. has a history of shutting us down. And unfortunately, what's going on right now is even today, when there's a hardcore show or a good punk show in Washington, D.C., there's always another show on the same night. And they split it between venues. And the main venues that split shows are the owners of the Pie Shop and the Runaway and Slash Run, and now the Pocket is also included in that. Those 4 venues split shows and have hardcore punk shows at both venues on the same night, dividing the scene and screwing it up and ruining it for everyone. And that's why bands who play in other cities get thousands of people. And when they come to DC, they get like 20 or 30 or 50. People actively destroy what we've done all over the world and what we're doing here. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to help everyone figure out who it was in DC and in this area who tried to shut down us improving the entire planet. So when I let that chirping noise keep beeping over the next week or few weeks or months while I live here, that's a message to staff that it's their mind game they were going to play on me, just like the deputies played mind games me out in Fairfax County, and just like the staff plays mind games on people in the psych wards. So whoever designed this homeless place, this transitional housing, this is what they do. Chirp. It's their game. They try to handle me. And the sad thing is when I was homeless in Triangle Park and I would go to service centers, there was people who would bully me and thug on me. And some of them live here and they're all friends. And I've been nice to them, but the fact of the matter is because I'm here, they're being nice to me. But when I was out there needing help, they bullied me at these centers. In fact, some of them I stopped going to. The place I took showers at, I stopped going there because I was bullied. And it's the same group of people here. I've met some of their members. So my goal here is now to no longer connect with people here and to keep to myself as much as possible. And let them learn what they've done, just like the rest of the world has done. And when they bring prostitutes here and have them walk past me and try and talk to me, I don't want any paid sex workers around me in my life. I'm going to have my own life. I'm going to make my own life. God made me, and God made each of you. And I'm asking God now, God, will you please help me have a better life? Because the first 50 years on this planet were horrible. And I'm going to discover the reasons why it was so horrible. And I'm going to make sure that everyone knows why it was horrible for me to live my life. I've done a lot of art. I've written a lot of books. I've created a lot of products. I've made a lot of videos. I get very little thanks and very little kudos. And no one buys my art, my books, my products. And very few people watch my videos. There's a guy here in Washington, D.C. I met. He's pretty cool, named Breezy Supreme. He just got 1 million views on one of his videos. Congratulations, brother. You're the future. I'm not. If I can support you, I will, and I have started. Lots of people in D.C. need to come to the spotlight so we can heal the planet. And lots of people in D.C. need to be put in the spotlight who've destroyed the planet. My recent court case, I believe what happened is the law broke the law to manipulate the law, to enforce the law. And I think what they did is they gave a few people charges, but they gave them very light charges. When I was almost murdered, I had teeth knocked out. I had my face had to get sewn back together, my lip. I had a gash in my head from where I was beat, and my hand is continually still broken. It's mauled, and if I don't have surgery, it will never properly work as far as I'm concerned. So whatever anyone thinks they're doing to this guy, Nathaniel Shellhays Vizdos, trust me, the world is going to do that to you 5 times harder. This is going to happen in Washington, D.C., what's happening. This prophecy that was partly set up by human beings. And guess what? All you human beings who set it up, remember God's in charge and be humble, just like I'm trying to be now. And when I say I'm trying to be humble, I'm very much trying to improve the person that I am. My name is Nathaniel Shellhays Vizdos. No one's been ever able to really say my name properly, spell it properly, or even look at me that much like a normal person my whole life, like an average person. I notice things and I see them and I say them. Today on ABC News, and today is February 19th, 2024, ABC Noon Lunchtime News. They said some people don't get coronavirus, the doctors on the TV. They call us I think it's the no virus or corona no virus, or I don't know, there's a name for people who don't get coronavirus. Then the doctor went on to say, well, we probably have immunity from previous versions of the coronavirus. We have natural immunity from previous versions of the coronavirus. And I think to myself, we shut down the entire planet for a lie. ABC News just basically said you could have had immunity from other coronas from the past. And a lot of people died. And a lot of leaders lied to a lot of people and paid a lot of people to lie to the general public as authorities. Again and again and again, the people who tell the politicians in the United States what to do and who pay them to do what they do, just figured out how to do that to the whole planet, and that's how we were shut down for coronavirus. So now there's a payoff that you can give to all the leaders of the planet to do whatever you want. And as long as Americans keep paying on that $34 trillion deficit, each American living in the United States, and we call it America, but it's not. It was something else before. This is an abomination. Rewriting all the maps of the world, starting world wars, creating lies, and confusing people with fake new languages. Anyways, I'm going to get on out of here. And everyone in America owes about $100,000 to the government. And as long as we keep paying it, the corruption and the money keeps flowing. And every time you go to get a beverage at a public restaurant or a piece of food, you're in danger of being poisoned. Your children are in danger of being taken and used by the streets and the government because they all come from the same people and the same crooked-ass paychecks and system. So let's fix it here in Washington, D.C. Let's stop murdering. Let's stop raping. Let's stop abusing children. And let's stop buying and selling each other as human beings. Let's do a better planet. God is in charge, and now you know.